So, Resident Evil has some different options for movies. There's the live action ones, which are terrible.
Are they?
They're terrible.
Because that's the only experience I have with them, with Resident Evil. I've never played the games, but one time I saw a movie, it was on TV once, and I was just watched a little bit, and I was like, this is weird, and I'm confused.
They're
Aren't there
not
like
good.
5 of them?
5, I think they're doing the 6th one or the 7th one. I've lost track.
Have you seen them all?
I saw the first one.
That's it?
That's it.
Don't look back.
No. They don't really represent the video games very well.
Oftentimes, video game movies do that.
No.
They do not represent.
But they also have Capcom-produced CG movies. I want to say they've done a couple at this point. I watched the one called Degeneration, which kind of had a cool setup. You had an airplane taken over by zombies, crash into an airport, and all manner of craziness.
Is it like a realistic CGI style? Because that sounds like a bit weird.
Yeah, it's pretty realistic.
I've seen Polar Express, and that creeps me out.
It does not have the creep factor of Polar Express, but it's kind of like the Final Fantasy CG films. But yeah, very realistic.
And how long are the CGI films? Like
they're full length. Yeah, they're a couple hours or close to it. But they are making another CG animated movie, and it's going to be called Resident Evil Vendetta. And we don't have a whole lot of information regarding it, but Capcom announced it at the Tokyo Game Show this week. They said that it will feature an original storyline, so it's not going to be rehashing any kind of game storyline. But they haven't really done that in any of their movies anyway, so it's kind of weird that he would mention it. But he did say that it will be like Resident Evil 1, so probably, maybe a mansion setting, maybe, little less action-oriented and more, characters are trying to solve a mystery rather than trying to survive. Because that's kind of how the first Resident Evil was.
When did that first game come out, by the way?
The original Resident Evil, I want to say 96.
Whoa, what was it for?
PlayStation and Saturn. The original PlayStation.
The dinosaur itself.
Yeah. That's where we get a lot of the gaming quotes that people like to make fun of, like, "You were almost a Jill sandwich," and "Jill, take this lock. You, the master of unlocking, will put it to good use."
Is that from that game?
Yeah. Well, it was in the early days of video game voice acting.
Yeah.
And it's so bad that it's so good. It's just, yeah. It's good stuff. But the voice acting is not bad in the more recent Resident Evil games. It's great in the demo. The demo doesn't really show you any of the other Resident Evil characters, but it does seem like this is going to be like previous CG Resident Evil films. We don't know if there's going to be any returning characters, but they're pretty good. They're not terrible. They're a lot better. If you gave me the option of watching the CG or the live action ones, I will take the CG ones any day.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just not good.